watching Chopping It Up with Roger Cador and Perry White.
It has been a while, and we are finally back. It is Chopping It Up with Coach Roger Cador and Perry White. Of course, glad to have you guys back with us. I'm Perry White. He's Roger Cador, the man, the myth, the legend, the Hall of Famer. Glad for you guys to tune in. Look, it's been a while, Coach. How you doing?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm doing well. You know, for a lot of people out there, we haven't done this show, since February. You know, you want to give an update to the people and kind of give them an idea, you know, that we're finally back and kind of the things that have transpired over that time?
Well, we had some medical issues that came out of the blue on me, and, you know, the good Lord, with the help of the good Lord, I came through it, came out of it really good, and I'm doing really good. And I'm happy to be back with you and the neurosurgeon. Little did we know how important he would be.
Yeah.
But he was right there for me.
Yeah, he right there for you. We were all right there for you, Coach. Good to have you back. And, you know, what you been doing since then?
Not a lot. I've been rehabbing and really trying to get better. And, you know, I got to go to the SWAC baseball tournament this past weekend. I caught a couple of baseball games during the season. And just doing everyday stuff that I usually do. I don't have a lot of activity. You know, I'm not like you who fish and cut grass, and you do a little bit of everything.
I do a little bit of everything, you know, but it's good to have you back. Good for you to be here, you know, and just to give the people an update just so they can know what was going on, because people were definitely asking. See, they calling you right now trying to figure out what you're doing and where you're at, but it's good to have you back, Coach, and good for you to be a part of what we're doing right now. What you want to answer?
Can I call you right back? I'm doing the podcast. Can I call you right back?
That's part of when you're dealing with Coach Roger Cador. Look, anybody may call him at any given time, and he's going to answer. You better believe it. So if you call him and he don't answer the phone, trust me, he got the phone on him all the time. Good to have. Go ahead.
A coach I used to work with, when I was an assistant basketball coach, Carl Emerson Stewart told me, 2 things are important to people. When they call you or when they come by, it's important to them that they talk to you or see you because they have something important. So you never know.
It's good to have my boy Gary. Gary is the one behind the scene. And of course, no better way than to do this show in the remake of where we at now than in the Roger Cador Baseball Fieldhouse right here on Southern University. This is a fieldhouse that bears your name. This is a fieldhouse. I was here today when, at the time, James Loren, who was the president and the chancellor president of the school, and then you had Mayor President Kip Holden at the time, and they did the ribbon cutting right here, and I was here. I was a student at the time, but to see this land go from what it was to now, this building that bears your name, how does that feel?
Really feel good. Took 16 years. I was telling my sister, a lot of people give up. You know how many people would give up? And people delayed and make you wait and punish you for no reason. They give up. They only motivated me and fueled the fire in me. And we got it done finally after 16 years.
What was the process like with a building like this as we look around and it's filled with trophies, as you can see here, countless trophies throughout the years, plaques for players, pictures from you, see Lou Brock, Ricky Weeks. So much history in this building, but to not have a building to house all of this history since you've been here, and as you look around and you see your name right there outside on the plaque with the board and all of these other people, that process of just being here today and what that took.
Well, you know, I told you it took for 16 years. My name being on the building obviously is important from the family perspective, and the fact that not everybody's going to get their name on a building or have something named in their honor, and I was fortunate enough. But there are people who have done as much as I have and didn't get rewarded, especially when they were still alive. You add that to it. So I really try not to make too much of it. It is what it is. It's not something my son and I talk about. It's just something that, you know, I try to tell him: hard work, consistency, paid off, and good things happen when you do those two things.
Not only this building, but behind us is outfield to the baseball field, Lee Hines baseball field. One time, this was just open land, right? Probably like marshy, whatever the case would have been. But this wasn't a baseball field. So to think, looking at this field house and looking back behind us, knowing that this baseball field is here, you're the architect behind all of this. And when you even talk about the baseball field, for a lot of the younger generation to not know that Southern didn't even have a baseball field.
In 1971, a field was promised to us. We used to play when I was a student, athlete playing baseball. Baseball field was practice football field. Mm-hmm. That's what we played. They tore it down and said, oh, we're building your field. Well, in my lifetime as a coach, we screwed up 2 baseball fields that wasn't going to cost Southern anything. When in 1985, there was a game coming to town, the mini Olympic came to Baton Rouge, and they were going to build a baseball field. We refused it. We found a way to refuse it.
Now what?
Politics. We refused it in 1985. And then about 16 years ago, before this place was built, I had gotten the money again. Mm-hmm. And we refused it again. I couldn't believe it. And the good thing is, the gentleman who worked in the legislature was going to write the check, literally going to be state funded, is still alive, and we can prove it. That a guy by the name of Curtis Lee came down. We had lunch in the state capitol, and he found a way to turn it down. Said, we don't want it. We're going to build it ourselves. I've got someone who is still alive can say it. And all I would have to say, what happened when we met about the baseball field? Y'all turned it down. Mm. So there's some crazy stuff have taken place and shouldn't have. And when you got bad people running place as large as this, you need people with open mind and surround themselves with quality people, not yes men. And that's part of the problem in many institutions. Too many yes men who won't fight for what is right for the mass of the people. They'll fight for the handful, but you got to take care of the mass of the people. This is an institution. Mm-hmm. And it's all about the students, athletes, and the students. And, you know, so I got the money through a really good mayor. And, you know, and he and I went and met with the business people. And we got the money happen, made the money happen. And, you know, people think it's difficult. But when your heart is in the right place and you're thinking about the kids, good things happen. Our business people in the Baton Rouge community step up, and we got it done.
So the same way when you look at the process of getting this place built, I got to ask, because you said many opportunities were turned down. But to
Two of them. Let's not say many.
Well, when it's more than one, that's many. Especially when you're talking about something that could help a program. And I don't think when you took this job, you didn't foresee where we at today of seeing this building here in that field. You was just taking a job and was just going to build from what you had, but you were determined. When you finally was able to break ground on this baseball field, what did you envision for this program moving forward from there?
I didn't do something my wife told me I should have done. Take pictures. She said, take the pictures so you can show. You'll be able to see what you had, and then when it's complete, and I forgot to do it. And now I don't have the pictures to show. It was just a wet marsh area that water set all the time. It was a low area. But I found a way. I really think about it in the Bible when Jesus broke fed with the 5 fish, and he fed, and the bread, and he fed all those people, thousands. Mm-hmm. That's what I did with $13,000. I brought in over.
You built this field with $13,000?
Yes. That's what I had. It cost much more than that, obviously. But that's what I had. Mm-hmm. And that $13,000, I got over 100 truckload of dirt and sand brought in. I got the fence put up, not this fence, chain link fence put up. And I got some seats, around 200 seats, all with 13,000. That wasn't the money. I found a way to make that happen, and that was the beginning. I think people started beginning to believe. Because once people see, sometimes you got to show people in order for them to believe. So they were able to see this guy might be real. And we got it done.
What was it like for the people that you said you got pushback from? You had the lack of support, but when you look at, they started looking around. Look, you coming over the hump or you coming around campus, and you looking, it's like, well, they breaking ground over there for the administrators and people of the university. What was that like for them? Were they like, how are you doing this?
They had a zip mouth. They didn't say one word.
Really?
One guy went as far, had this coaches in a meeting. He was a chancellor. He's dead now. He moved on. He wasn't a Southern man. And he said there will never be baseball played on this campus. When he said never, boy, that flame in him really blew up. And I looked at him and smiled.
What was the issue? It seemed like there was an issue with what seemed to be the problem.
What was the problem? Why would a guy be so ugly? It was an old white coach by the name of Joe Clark. Asked him, why wouldn't we want to have baseball that's successful? He was the one that asked that question. I said nothing in that meeting. All I did was smile. And the day in 1996, 97, when we beat Cal State Fullerton, I had done all of my work, got all of the paperwork done. I went to his office. We beat Cal State Fullerton on a Friday. On that Monday, I put the papers on the desk. I said, I'm not going to call his name. I said, you sign these papers, sir? He'd sign them and he never looked up. And I said, thank you, sir, and walked out of his office. And then that's when I got the National Guard to begin the work, that part of that work. You see, so it was a lot of people involved. See, I had to go to Pullman, Washington. That's a long ways from here, to find out information on how I could get the National Guard
I don't even know
help me.
Where is Pullman, Washington?
Pacific Northwest.
Well, I know Washington, but I've never heard of Pullman, Washington.
Well, that's the kind of thing I did. I mean, I went all the way up there. It was something going on, and I met a guy, and he talked about I said, man, those fields are nice. He said, we had the National Guard to help us. I said, really? I told him I wasn't. Say, find the right guy, make the call, they'll help you. He said, they need projects, and I'll be darned if he was correct.
Just like that, you was able to put one thing to the other and then ultimately make it a success.
All through my baseball career here, it was one person after another finding good people, like Dusty Baker. Once I found Dusty Baker, I found other people. Well, I knew Dusty, but other people came in and threw in. It was just, and then when I got the Baton Rouge business community and the Baton Rouge community behind me, it was no stopping it.
I always want to ask because you are such a name that resonates with many people throughout the city of Baton Rouge. It don't matter if they're black or white. And it's amazing because you and I have been out. There's a lot when we're somewhere, a white person. Roger Cador, you know, what was it like to go from nobody knowing Roger Cador as the head baseball coach to going out into the community and really selling not only yourself, but selling a program to get people to believe in what it was you was building over here and to get them to see that vision?
You know, I know people say you got to have confidence and believe in this and believe. I never thought too much of myself. I always looked at myself as a person that don't want to be cocky, don't want to be overly confident, wanted to be accepted by people. And that's basically what I did. Now, obviously, my confidence obviously grew as we got more and more things accomplished. My son said something to me a couple of weeks ago. He knew I was not doing at my best, and he said, Dad, I haven't said something to you I wanted to say to you. And I asked him, what was it? He said, there's nothing I thought when I was growing up that you couldn't do. I didn't think there was nothing you couldn't do, because not only that, the players on the team believe the same thing, that you can do anything you wanted to do. I never thought that of myself. Mm-hmm. And I think that lowliness of confidence or arrogance, because you can be arrogant with too much confidence, you got me? You can be perceived as arrogant.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to do that. I wanted to be a loving person, open on to let everybody in. But he said that to me, it was nothing I didn't think you could accomplish. And I never thought of that.
And you had to have a certain way about yourself because you had too many people telling you no. So at that point, when you got to take it, what they say, take the bull by the horns on your own, that's a different type of mentality that you have to come by, because when you're going into rooms or you're knocking on doors and you're going in saying, hey, I'm Roger Cador, and you explaining what it is you're doing and you get a no. But first of all, when no starts at home right here on the campus, then you have to leave home and leave the campus and go out to a community that otherwise may not have never supported Southern baseball and sell, this is a program, this is who I am, and this is what I'm building. It does have to bring a level of confidence that you have to go in there and bring, because guess what? They've never supported this. They never spent money towards this, and they're trying to figure out how can we have this business relationship with a guy who's building a program that we never heard of or supported in the first place.
I never thought of it, but you're right. But I did a lot of work in the community, community service. I took my players with me. And Skip Berkman and I started this in 1985 when we started doing community service thing, public service announcement, doing free stuff. You got, and people always think you have to do something for money. Mm-hmm. We did a lot of free stuff, volunteerism. It's a gift from God. Volunteerism, truly a gift from God. And people don't always understand that, because when you volunteer, you're helping the less fortunate. What does the Bible say? Look after the less fortunate and the lowly ones. That's what volunteer kicks in at. And we did a lot of that stuff, and it paid dividend later on when we became to have, I was fortunate. It didn't take me long to have very good teams, because we were good right out of the gate. Mm-hmm. We're not out of the gate. 97, 98, 99, we were really, 89, we were really good, and we played good competition. And Skip Berkman and I at LSU, we played against each other. And there were very competitive games, close, and people like good competition. Mm-hmm. And we're fortunate, we live in a community that love good winning college program. We're not a professional town, we're a college town. We got 3 colleges, see here, BRCC, LSU, and Southern. So we're fortunate.
Well, we're fortunate to be able to be back, do this show again right here in the Roger Cador Baseball Fieldhouse. If you've never seen it, come on the campus of Southern University. It's right behind the outfield of the baseball stadium in which he's built. He's built this entire baseball complex. It's still here today, and for you to be able to sit here in this. And look, the first time we're ever doing the show in here, man, I'm excited about it. And it's got to be exciting to know when you look to see. I don't have anything, a building named after me. So to pull up and see your name on the building has to be exciting. So I'm glad for us to be back and to be doing it in here. And what we're going to do, we're going to get ready to take a break, pay some bills. And when we come back, we'll continue the conversation, because Coach was honored during this time away, and we'll talk about that. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. More Chopping It Up with Coach Roger Cador and Perry White.
Smart Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge because BTR is so close and convenient. They're always one step ahead, rather than dead on their feet. So, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. Some Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge. Some don't. The ones that do know BTR is all about being closer, more convenient, with non-stops and short hops to anywhere their business takes them. They also know not flying BTR means more traffic, longer lines, and wasted time. So if it's about going from driveway to runway with a lot less highway, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. It's about time.
Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040. Your go-to tax relief.
Looking to get some keys made, locks rekeyed, or a wide variety of new and used safe? Then look no further than the trusted choice of Alfred Safe and Lock. Conveniently located off of Government Street in Mid-City, Baton Rouge. Trust the expert locksmith at Alfred for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial lock and safe needs. Trusted by Baton Rouge and me, Roger Cador, to protect what is yours since 1946. Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg, we just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
Congratulations, East Baton Rouge. You did it. You topped every big city in the country. You envisioned an ambitious multi-year reinvention of our park system. And we, as a community, embarked on a multi-year effort to reimagine our parks and facilities. And all that work didn't go unnoticed. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your parks, our purpose.
Smart Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge because BTR is so close and convenient, they're always one step ahead, rather than dead on their feet. So, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. Some Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge. Some don't. The ones that do know BTR is all about being closer, more convenient, with non-stops and short hops to anywhere their business takes them. They also know not flying BTR means more traffic, longer lines, and wasted time. So if it's about going from driveway to runway with a lot less highway, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. It's about time.
All right, we are back more chopping it up with Coach Roger Cador and Perry White. Good to have you guys with us, Coach. It's good to be back with you for us to be able to continue the conversation. And, you know, you talked about what you were dealing with in your life with health. We talked about this building that we're in. We're in the Roger Cador baseball field house right here located on the campus of Southern University. This is something that you built with the Lee Hines Baseball Stadium behind us, but all of those accomplishments, all of those doors you knocked on, all of the no's that you were told, and you still found a way to get it done. And not only that, you weren't only a baseball coach, but like you said, you had to get out into the community and build those relationships. It went way beyond the diamond of the baseball field and the recruiting of the student athletes. You were a man of many hats, and because of that, here recently you were honored by the SWAC Alumni Association. They honored you. They called it a roast. Didn't nobody get up there and really say the jokes, and I'm upset with Lonzo Harden. He should have, next time, Harden, call me, man. If you want somebody to say some funny things about Coach Cador, I'll get up there. But nonetheless, there was a lot of respect for, I think, the way people look at you around this conference, around the SWAC. And for you to get that award from the Alumni Association, for you, with everything that you have dealt with to start this year and then be honored, what was that like for you?
Yeah, it was really a great honor because I also with Charlie Neal, who is a great announcer and done it over 40 years. But, you know, I've been honored a lot in the last few years, but you know, this one meant a special place to me in my heart because of the way I had to do things to get where I got. It was a whole different ball game. These people know the grind. They know all of the disappointments and all of the foolishness we had to go through. And that's why it meant more to me, because they weren't just honoring me for what I accomplished, but for the longevity and the things that the doors I kicked open that helped so many other young people that's coming behind. When several years ago, I raised money to buy a set of Negro League uniform. You know, I wanted legacy to live on. I wanted the young people to know the reason you're having this opportunity is because those people took the abuse. And to have coaches not want to wear those uniforms really says a lot about where we're going as a generation, because you can't forget your history. I don't give a darn how hard you try. That history is there. And I like to talk about the history because I was such an integral part of a lot of the things going on, protesting, trying to make things better, get some of the rights back that was taken away from us. And these guys act like it's nothing. They take it for granted that they deserve something without earning it, you know? And so I'm not too happy about them not wearing the uniforms because of what the people went through. I got to talk to some of them Negro League players before they died. And they told stories that are not printed. It's not written. And those stories are touching. They let you know how fortunate we are that our people made it through. So they can reproduce and have us. You got me? A lot of those people didn't make it. You know, they were killed unjustly, just killed for no reason because of the color of their skin. So that's why these young coaches don't really understand. And to me, it's a disrespect to the legacy of what black folks have gone through.
And I think because of what black folks have gone through and what you went through, just as a coach and as a community leader and being the person that you are, that was the reason of you being honored and the nice things, wonderful things. They played videos. It was former players. You had Skip Berkman as well, former LSU head baseball coach. Many people had great things to say about you. And considering the health scare that you had, but to be there, to see this love and to be able to get that love while you was alive, what does that feel like for your honor, but to witness the love while you're here?
Well, you always want it while you're here. I used to tell people, I don't ever want to die. I want to live forever.
Yeah.
And people who wait till people die to give them a big thing, it's a foolishness. And I tell all of my players, I tell them, come back and enjoy your teammates while they're alive. Don't come when they're dead. There's nothing you can do for them when they're dead. Why so many people come back? You know, they place a lot of emphasis going to a funeral when someone's dead, but won't go visit them when they're alive. I can't understand that. I won't know if you come if I die. I won't know if you're there or not. But I know you if you came and saw me when we're alive. To me, that means a lot more. So I try to discard that and tell them, and they understand. They're beginning to come back more and more because they realize when someone dies, it's all over.
Yeah, it is. It's all over. And, you know, my grandmother says that. I'm going to tell you a funny thing about my grandmother. She loves to watch us. In particular, she said something about your accent. She thought you was a short guy. And I said, no, Grandma, he's a tall. She was like, I just never, because when we were at the other place, you would sit down. So she thought you was a short guy, but I told her no. But the thing about it is, what she said, it was just like you. You know, if they didn't show me the love while I was alive, why would I want it when I'm dead? You can't do nothing with it. And so I think for so many people, that seems to be the ongoing story of you never know when it's somebody's time. So it's best to try each and every day to mend broken relationships, to try to show love and show appreciation to those, especially if they made an impact not only to your life, but to the people around you. I think it's good to always show promise of an appreciation and thank you for that, because you never know. everybody's not gonna live to be this, everybody wants to live to be old, but it doesn't necessarily happen for everybody, right? Things happen.
I was feeling great, and then this happened. I mean, there was nothing going on in my life physically that told me this was happening. And it took you and the neurosurgeon to say, hey, coach, you don't look like yourself today. I was feeling fine. I thought anyway.
Yeah.
Because
you got your upbeat manner about yourself. And I tell people, when you step into a room, when Roger Cador is in the room. That day, it was like, yeah, Roger Cador is not here. So something is up, something is wrong. But nonetheless, I'm glad we were there. And that's the thing about caring about people and having that appreciation. We care about you, we appreciate you. And I think that's why you got that award at the SWAC Alumni Association event. They appreciate you and they care about you. It was Ashley Robertson, athletic director at Jackson State, received the award. Andrew Roberts from the SWAC office, as well as Charlie Neal and yourself. All of you guys. And then they honored Jack Spinks, the late, great Jack Spinks, former coach up at Alcorn, in which the stadium bears his name along with Coach Chasm, Jack Spinks Chasm Stadium up there. So, to be able to get that honor and see you guys. Then I had you and Charlie Neal together on my radio show on the Jaguar Journal, man. It was good to know and have that conversation because you coached and for so many years, watching you do your thing in the SWAC and be so dominant and send guys so many places. And then that was baseball season. Then on football season, I get an opportunity to watch Charlie Neal bring black college football into the homes of millions of people across the nation on BET, and now he's on HBCU Go TV. But good to have you guys, to be able to see you guys get that award while you're alive and be able to enjoy having that opportunity to be honored, man. It was a pleasure and an honor to see you guys be able to get those awards.
And having a chance to talk with Charlie Neal, we find out he got two motorcycles that he rides. And that's really, I won't ride one, but he enjoyed riding his motorcycles.
And you said something interesting because you said his name of the great baseball player, Charlie Neal.
Yeah. Well, that was a baseball player who played with the Dodgers, and he confirmed a lot of people still send stuff for him to sign, thinking he's still a Charlie Neal. And I thought that when he was named Charlie Neal, maybe his mom or dad watched the Dodgers and they named him after Charlie Neal. That's why a lot of black people in the days named their kids after former athletes or musicians. Those were our most prominent two professionals, musician and athletics.
You know where I got my name from?
No.
Television show. Perry Mason Stone, who was an attorney on the show.
I love some Perry Mason.
Well, I guess that's why I'm here. My grandmother did too. And that's how I got my name, Perry.
Oh, Perry Mason. I still watch him every now and then.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they got a station I can catch old movies. And they do the ones that didn't, they go in its entirety. The ones were on TV, you had commercial. But I get to see a man, Lieutenant Tragg and them guys. Yes, I remember it.
Well, that's how I got my name. So let's get ready to take a break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll talk about the SWAC baseball tournament over in Atlanta and tell you who won the tournament, who punched their ticket to postseason play to a regional, and we'll continue to talk about all this. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be back more chopping up with Coach Roger Cador and Perry White.
Smart Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge because BTR is so close and convenient. They're always one step ahead, rather than dead on their feet. So, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. Some Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge. Some don't. The ones that do know BTR is all about being closer, more convenient, with non-stops and short hops to anywhere their business takes them. They also know not flying BTR means more traffic, longer lines, and wasted time. So if it's about going from driveway to runway with a lot less highway, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. It's about time.
Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040, your go-to tax relief.
Looking to get some keys made, locks rekeyed, or a wide variety of new and used safe? Then look no further than the trusted choice of Alfred Safe and Lock. Conveniently located off of Government Street in Mid-City, Baton Rouge. Trust the expert locksmith at Alfred for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial lock and safe needs. Trusted by Baton Rouge and me, Roger Cador, to protect what is yours since 1946. Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg, we just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
Congratulations, East Baton Rouge. You did it. You topped every big city in the country. You envisioned an ambitious multi-year reinvention of our park system. And we, as a community, embarked on a multi-year effort to reimagine our parks and facilities. And all that work didn't go unnoticed. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your parks, our purpose.
Smart Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge because BTR is so close and convenient, they're always one step ahead, rather than dead on their feet. So, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. Some Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge. Some don't. The ones that do know BTR is all about being closer, more convenient, with non-stops and short hops to anywhere their business takes them. They also know not flying BTR means more traffic, longer lines, and wasted time. So if it's about going from driveway to runway with a lot less highway, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. It's about time.
All right, we're back more Chopping It Up with Coach Roger Cador and Perry White. Good to have you guys back with us here live in the Roger Cador Baseball Fieldhouse right here on the campus of Southern University. And this is the guy who the building bears his name, the man, the myth, the legend, the Hall of Famer, and everything else, the Coach of the Year, SWAC legend, national college baseball national legend. You're all of these legends, and I think these trophies show for all the lives that you've impacted and everything else. But it's good to have you back, Coach, and good to be here with you.
It's good to be here, Mr. White.
And so being back this past week, we had the SWAC baseball tournament over in Atlanta, Georgia. And normally you on the call, but this year you kind of took a step back. You was able to watch the game and just kind of enjoy the pageantry around SWAC baseball.
Yeah, the games were long, a lot of runs being scored. But I actually thought Jackson State and FAMU were the best 2 teams, but Grambling found a way. They came, and they did it with clutch hits down the stretch at the back end of the game, big hits. And they did it, and then the pitchers did enough to get people out. But Jackson State, Omar Johnson, in my opinion, have lost more championships because the game is difficult enough. And I think what he did, he bunted too much. Bunts or give it or outs, you got me? Mm-hmm. They're called sacrifice. Mm-hmm. That's why you're sacrificing outs. And the name of the game is to keep as many outs as you can by swinging the bat. And he gave too many outs, was sacrificed with the third, once with the fourth hole hitter. That's not the kind of baseball I'm accustomed to. I grew up watching, I learned to play, and I coach. You don't do that with the third and fourth hole hitter. but he has his own style, and it cost him. And I think this is about the third or fourth year he's burnt a championship because of those kind of tactics.
You talk about day one of the SWAC baseball tournament over in Atlanta. Jackson State gets the victory. Talking about Jackson, 17-4 over Texas Southern. Prairie View losing 16-1 to Bethune-Cookman. Bethune-Cookman coaches a team that, after I watched them in last year's SWAC baseball tournament, they were new to coming to the conference, but I really like their style of play. They were really good when you're talking about a baseball team that stayed motivated, being able to hit the ball well, and getting batters on the plate. Then you look at Grambling in day one, winning 6-3 against Alabama State. Southern in a tough one against Florida A&M. Bases loaded and an opportunity to possibly make that a ball game, and they fell short 8-5 against Florida A&M, who was the #1 seed coming out of the SWAC Eastern Division. Then you move on to day two, Prairie View versus Texas Southern in the rivalry game. Texas Southern wins 3-2 over Prairie View. Bama State, Southern once again, late in that ball game, opportunities to pull away and maybe make it a closer ball game than what it was. Could not quite get the bats rolling the way that they wanted to. Alabama State's get the victory, 11-8 over Southern University. Then Jackson State big against Bethune-Cookman, 11-6, and then Florida A&M kept it rolling against Grambling, 17-7. You move on to the next day, Bethune-Cookman with a big win over Texas Southern, 16-0, coach. Complete shutout. Alabama State loses to Grambling in a close one by 1, 11-10, and then Bethune-Cookman over Jackson State 4-3, and Grambling ended the day 9-3 over Florida A&M, and then you had the semifinal game before you basically got to the championship. Jackson State versus Bethune-Cookman. Jackson State punched their ticket into the SWAC championship, 4-2 over Bethune-Cookman, and then Grambling State upset the #1 seed coming out of the SWAC East, Florida A&M, 14-11, and it sets up Grambling State versus Jackson State, the two Tigers of the SWAC, and Grambling State gets the victory 6-5 with an error at home plate in the 9th inning, in which they were able to get that run in off a bad toss to home plate, overthrew it, and Grambling State punched their ticket into the NCAA tournament. They'll be in the regional at Texas A&M, taking on Texas A&M in that regional.
You know, with the replay camera, it's hard for umpires to miss calls now, or you say they blew the call. The replay, they have to show something that can make you overturn it. That's what they look, that's why they go when they say this, they go and look at the camera. So it's hard for to say an umpire blow call when they got to go look at the camera. The camera don't lie. So I have to look at it, and because I do advisory work for the SWAC, last year I got to see a lot of what the umpires are looking at in that booth when they go. And that camera ain't lying. You know, so I think we need to, unless it's just the evidence that we can't overturn it, it's either the evidence that we can't overturn it or where evidence show we are going to overturn it. Those are the only two things that they're looking at.
Grambling with a tough region. You're talking about Texas A&M, Texas, UL Lafayette, and Grambling. How do you see things faring out in that region right there?
Well, Texas A&M should come out of there, but they got Texas. Texas A&M got a really good team, and so that's a tough region for Grambling. All regions are tough. Even LSU going to North Carolina, that's a tough region. So there's no patsy anymore.
6 teams from the state of Louisiana representing in postseason play, in regional play, in the NCAA tournament. What does that say about the level of baseball that you see here in the state of Louisiana collegiately?
That has happened several times. It's been Southern, LSU, Tulane, McNeese, UL. It's been several times we had 6 teams go from the state of Louisiana to the NCAA regional. And it says a lot about baseball here. Quality of baseball is really good. When Nickel State got in, am I correct? Nickel State, yeah, they hadn't been in quite a while.
You look at UL, a program like UL, traditionally a top 25 team, they'll give you a run for their money. What do you see about that program over in Lafayette?
Oh, they're a really good program. Again, they've made a commitment to athletics. That's what the schools say. We're going to commit it. Football, basketball, baseball, they upgraded. And probably track and field. So they made a commitment. We're going to upgrade our facility because they understand they're going to bring money to the city. It's good for taxes. It's good for upgrading. We just got to find out the financial situation, how it works, and do a better job. We know this education is a priority, but if you don't have athletics, nobody's coming here for education. If they're going for higher education, they're going to Stanford, North Carolina. You understand? They're going to Tulane. So I'm not saying, all I'm saying, what Alabama find out when they hired Nick Saban, he did so good. Their enrollment went through the door roof. They're not accepting students anymore. They stopped accepting out-of-staters because they can't. There won't be no space for the in-state students. So until we really understand, you're gonna have to put money in athletics, and then it'll help you in overall enrollment, especially if your football program is successful. That's what has got to happen. I don't understand why we don't understand at the highest level. I can't figure it out.
And I got to ask you, of course, before we get ready to end, Southern University, 0-2 in the tournament for the second consecutive year. What did you see from Southern in this tournament? You know, a lot of people, after that win over LSU this year, and they had some ups and downs through some series, but, you know, they were the 4th seed coming out of the West. But from your opinion as a former coach here, we're right here on the campus of Southern. We're in the Southern Fieldhouse. But what you saw from that team that ultimately just let them down for the second consecutive year, going 0-2 in the tournament?
They didn't play bad. They just didn't. They had a couple of bad innings where they didn't knock the runners in, and that happens. They didn't play. They only made one error. They walked 4 batters in 2 games. Listen, when you look at that, that's solid baseball. The problem is you don't get the hit with. In those innings where you could have made a difference. And the Southern people don't understand losing in baseball. They don't understand it.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
You!
They don't.
Because of you, man.
And we lost. We lost a lot. But you know, they're just funny.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can put it. But Chris have done a pretty good job. He's taken them into some good places. You know, they just got to help him out a little.
And that means investing into the program.
More investment in it. Give him money where he can hire quality assistant coaches. I mean, that's where it's going to start. That's where baseball is going now. You got to have really quality, experienced assistant coaches.
Well, Coach, as we get ready to end today, man, it's good for us to be back. You know, people were asking me how you were doing, and so now I don't tell people. I allow you to tell them yourself, and so for you to be able to explain. And look, we're back, so we'll be back next week. We're gonna keep this thing going, Coach and I, and it's good to have you back, Coach. And what do you got coming up this week? Anything for the people to know?
No, we do. We continue to. Today I do a Zoom call with Major League Baseball, and we're continuing to select the players for the All-Star game. The swing master, the swingman in Arlington in July.
For the MLB All-Star.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be looking forward to that. And we'll be talking more about that as we continue to go, as you promote that. You're right there on the forefront of that and spearheading and making sure that HBCUs are on the forefront and getting that exposure on a national stage, and no bigger national stage for HBCU baseball players than at the biggest stage of them all in Major League Baseball, All-Star Weekend. And so this year being down in the South, last year was up in the West, in the Northwest. So this year down in the South, making it a little bit more homey for a lot of those players who know this region. Next year to be in Atlanta. So even better, especially when we talk about with the SWAC baseball tournament being over there. And I would love to see the SWAC promote that a lot more, especially during this baseball tournament, talking about the game itself and how much that is an opportunity for guys to be able to get a chance to be able to advertise the conference as a whole.
Well, we're going to have 2 bands, TSU and Prairie View bands, are going to be there this year. That is different. So MLB is putting a lot of money out to make it a grain affair, and they're really promoting it.
Well, good to have you back, Coach. We'll be promoting and talking more about it, and hope you guys, good to have you guys back as well. As always, as I say, hit that subscribe button right there. It's for free. We don't need anything from you. Glad to have my guy Garrett behind the scenes holding it down with us, making it do what it do. Coach, having you right here, being the Hall of Fame and the man of the knowledge and the wisdom that you are, and myself right here to steer the ship. Good to have you guys, and we'll be back next week. So I'm glad to have you guys, and we'll see you next week. Coach, you know, as always, get us out of here. We out. Peace.